If you can add up to 0 and you can match colors, you can play valence. In valence, you use elements from the periodic table to make molecules, which are worth a certain point value. Get 10 points and you win the game. But be careful, some molecules are vulnerable to chemical reactions. The first thing you do is take the molecule cards and arrange them in the middle of your playing surface like this. This forms the molecule bank. Then you deal 6 cards to each player from the element deck. To determine who goes first, look at the purple numbers on your element cards. This is the atomic number, the amount of protons in the element. Whoever has the card with the highest atomic number goes first. If there's a tie, then the person with the next highest atomic number goes first. Whoever has calcium usually goes first. It has the highest atomic number of the elements in the game. Start your turn by drawing a card from the element deck. You can also choose to select the top card from the discard pile, like Rummy, instead of drawing from the deck. So you have options. If you don't have any cards in your hand at the beginning of your turn, draw 3 cards. This gives you an incentive to get rid of your cards as quickly as possible. If you have 6 cards in your hand that have either all positive or all negative valence numbers, those are the numbers in the upper left corner, you can discard your hand and draw 6 new cards instead of drawing a card. After you've drawn, look at your cards to see if you can make molecules. The key to making molecules is to combine the valence numbers, those are the numbers in the upper left corner, so that they add up to 0. So if you have carbon, oxygen, and oxygen, that makes a molecule. If you have sodium and chlorine, that makes a molecule. Or if you have hydrogen and fluorine, that makes a molecule. You can make over 25 molecules in valence. To figure out which molecule you've made, look at the colors of your element cards. These colors correspond to the different groups in the periodic table for each element. For instance, halogens are red. If your elements are gray and red, you've made a salt. If they're blue and yellow, you've made water. When you make a molecule, take the element cards that make the molecule and put them in the discard pile. Then take the appropriate card from the molecule bank and put it in front of you face up so everyone can see. Every molecule has a different gameplay function that you can read about on the bottom of the card. For instance, acids chemically react with bases, transforming into salt and water. And water chemically reacts with deadly carbonyls, transforming them into carbon dioxide and acid. You can only use molecules on your turn. One molecule is a little crazy. It's the helium card. It looks like an element card, but since it's a noble gas, it doesn't need anything to combine with to be stable. So you can play it like a molecule. And when you do, everyone you're playing with has to pass all their element cards to the person to the left, so it's pretty disruptive. You can play as many molecules as you like on your turn, or you don't have to play any molecules, but you can't have more than 6 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. If you do, discard until you have 6. Each molecule is worth a certain amount of points, indicated by the number in the diamond in the upper right corner. Get 10 points, and you win the game.
I'm Greg Evans. I'm the director of SEEDS Training, and I've been working in education for more than 20 years, directly with students, also with parents, and also with teachers. And we're always looking for new approaches to education because we want to learn from what's working all around the world and find ways to apply it to solve some of education's largest challenges. So that's Chem Caper. It's a really awesome experience for students, and it's a great new approach in education. Please lend your support to this Kickstarter project. It's one way that you can make a small difference in a positive direction in changing education around the world.
I want to work really hard to make great scientific discoveries, and then have someone else take all the credit.
I want to work harder and longer than everyone else, but make less money. I want people to take one look at me and think I'm not intelligent.
That's not what girls wish for.
Science Wide Open is a series of children's books that celebrates the true stories of women in science, while also teaching the basics of chemistry, biology, and physics.
We have the chance to transform the narrative surrounding girls, women, and science. That was really good.
Hi, I'm John Covey, the founder of Genius Games and the designer of Subatomic, an atom building game. Subatomic is themed around the intersection of particle physics and chemistry, where players are competing to build elements using their subatomic particles. As far as the game goes, every turn and every decision feels like it really matters. The progression of gameplay is cleverly paced, and the combination of deck building mixed with area control is really satisfying. Each player begins with a weak deck of up quarks and down quarks, which they'll use to create protons and neutrons. They also have particle wave duality cards, which they'll use to create electrons. With these protons, neutrons, and electrons, players can either build up their atom in order to claim element cards and score points, or buy cards that make their deck even more powerful. The science in Subatomic is accurate, showing you what makes up the subatomic and the atomic world that we live in. And like all my previous games, Subatomic seamlessly blends hard science and strategy gaming. I'm proud of the fact that Subatomic has been playtested and vetted by hundreds of gamers and scientists from across the globe. Subatomic has been a labor of love, and I hope you'll consider supporting our Kickstarter and getting a copy for yourself. Happy gaming!